Well, you
they'll
treat
fucking burn
business
it.
like it's a relationship.
I do, I do,
That's
and it's
it's
horrible, but
faulty right now.
it's faulty. But the same difference is one of those things
It's
of
needed too at the same time while you're growing.
yeah, it's not that because I care, I care a lot,
Fucking
and
loser.
I know I am a loser, motherfucker. But it's still one of those things of I
I want
care so
to
much.
when you need a true working edge and nothing but productivity, you need to set it to that kind of standard of like where you need to be and what only you're accepting at that time. You can draw
See you next week for the
boundaries
next
are the
episode.
biggest thing. Just like what I'm doing right now over in my shit is the boundaries are something I'm doing a hell of a lot more now.
And
They
it's
want
people that
from
won't look
you.
at themselves. That's the bad thing about it. And when I
You're a
say it, they're
drug.
like,
No,
"Oh,
in that sense, you're a drug. You're just a drug. You're that input. You're their use.
where did we stop at? I forgot. I forgot to write a note down.
Doesn't matter. I got two different we can kind of roll into.
Go for it.
One concerns both of us. One is considered on mine, but I'm sure you'll have an apparent reaction to and
Go
discussion
for it.
with. One's divorce. We both,
Yeah, we both been there.
and even in with my child's mother, it did involve divorce, but still, it's an estranged relationship.
Yeah.
When it wasn't worth the mentality of keeping it around for the child's health.
Did you have that mindset of like, I'm gonna make this work out because I have a child with her, or at least
No,
try to be a good co-parent somewhat at first?
I did try. Even so, at the beginning, I guess, at the beginning, it began at the dawn of time. You know, uh, we were in a relationship, and she said she was pregnant. Pregnant.
I'm not.
Yeah, and so I was like, cool, all right. So we're gonna talk about this, obviously, because we're gonna have to figure some shit out. And she starts lighting up a cigarette, and I slash that shit out the fucking hand. Like,
Yeah.
well, if you're pregnant with my child, you will not be smoking here, like at all. I'll quit smoking too. I'm done the day, but you will not be having cigarettes if my child is inside you growing. That thing can't defend itself right now versus your stupidity. I didn't say that out loud, but that's in my brain matter.
But that's the thing about it. Like, if people like, I understand like weaning off cigarettes, like you're actually like trying to, but you're still smoking the same consistent rate, like while you're pregnant. Like, what are you really fucking doing?
Like, dude, even we have so many fucking alternatives to now, like nicotine gum or hell, dude, even rolling little spliffs of fucking tea. You get damn near the same effect of you still get the stimulation. It tastes worse, it smells worse, but like, you get the fixation, you get the smoking aspect of it, but it's not something that is immediately fucking harming your child.
Yeah, it's just
But
I don't get it.
so after that happened, after I said that, disappeared.
I just like ghosted, like completely, like didn't no nothing, just gone.
Next day, gone.
God
I
damn,
woke up, gone. She disappeared down to now. Say it with me, Terry. Where would she go?
Texas.
Goddamn
Yeah.
fucking Texas.
Ain't nothing wrong with being here, man. It's a good state. Good state for me.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, sure.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a great state.
Living out that song.
So time continues on, and I'm in college right now at this time. Getting my bachelor's in psychology and all that stuff. And I'm doing a finals on uh, child health growth, which is the most ironic. Like you say, like God doesn't exist sometimes, but the pure irony. No, no, no. But the irony of anyone saying that, and just like the comical value of it alone, was hilarious because it was child development is what I was doing that final in at the time, and I got a call from the state of Texas. Hey, we have your child here. Um, He's a boy, and we believe you to be the father. Do you want him? And I still got about 20 minutes left to finish this test, and I'm just like, wait, fucking what? First of all, you said it was a boy, right? No, I'm just kidding.
He's like, "Are you sure that's mine? Because I've done a lot of fucked up shit. I don't think that I'd be blessed with a boy instantly."
So, and it was, and it was a boy, and that proceeded to turn into every month from that day on, driving from Missouri down to Texas to fight for that child. They had ran my name through the court proceedings had already been happening for 6 months. They had been running my name so hard through the dirt to try and treat me like Charles goddamn Manson. That is what one of the prosecuting lawyers said to me when they came. "Oh, yeah, you seem like a stand up guy. Even with the tattoos, you don't seem like how they've been talking to you about." Like, what?
Like, wait, they've been talking about me?
So yeah, 6 months of dragging my whole fucking name through the dirt of how I was the most worthless piece of shit in life and constantly using drugs and, fucking just the most evilest thing known to man. The Jace had been taken away by the state of Texas when he was birthed because of negligence. She tried to kill him in the viewing and put the blanket over his mouth and covered him up and then walked away. And luckily, one of the nurses was paying attention and saved him. And then they gave her another chance because it's this great state of Texas.
It's not just Texas though.
Shut up!
There's lots of
Shut up!
places like that. Just because you don't like Texas doesn't mean it's just Texas. There's a lot of places like that. Like I've seen it in New York, North Carolina, Florida, Virginia,
Listen, I have a wrestling
California.
problem and I have a bone to pick with the great state, all right?
I know, but just saying, it's not just Texas. God
I
can't be
know.
isolated. It's not isolated. If
Listen,
it
I
was
know.
isolated, then a lot of problems can be solved, but it's not.
All right, here. I'll save that in another thing to talk about later of okay. Um so as the court proceedings go along, my lawyer can easily fucking navigate this of her lying on the stand. I have proof. It's my child. I've done genetic fucking testing already. I'm completely clean. There's nothing at all to say, and they're still fighting me at every fucking level, as a man, to try and get even basic custody, right? So when they put her on the stand, my lawyer asked me if I want her in prison, pretty much, because he could have got that. I was like, this is my own fallacy of what you were talking about earlier of, not harming something that is. I understand that she's a fucked up individual, but you still gave me the best blessing that I feel a man could ever receive as a child. A child is so much more than any wrongdoings of the parent can provide, in my eyes. And at that point, I was like, that's the mother of my child. Just minimalize and don't go straight for the throat because she had lied on the stand enough to be put in prison for a lot. So at then we got joint custody, right? And I talked to her outside of the courtroom like we can try this out, all right? And of course she agreed
Yeah.
and it didn't work. It just she didn't want a kid. She wanted just to be, I don't know what she wanted, but she definitely wasn't a mother. And sometimes that ain't there for people, I guess. And
Yeah.
it confuses the hell out of me, especially as a man, like, like just like you, like fucking the having such a maternal instinct and being a dad instinct kind of deal of like, I'll do anything for this fucking new little object that has into
Yeah.
fucking reality.
Yeah. I find it confusing when people who have children, like, there's nothing wrong with their life. they have children, but they just aren't fucking present just to be there for their children. And I've hit on this so many fucking times. I'm pretty sure people are tired of me saying it, but I don't give a fuck. But literally, it's not fucking hard.
No, it
They
isn't.
and that's what goes to all the times. Like, they say it's
Time
so
is our best
stressful.
quantity fucking payment. Money
Yeah,
doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Time does. Our time does.
and I look at it all the time, just like, why? Why do you think it's so stressful? Well, I had a hard day. Blah blah blah. This and Thursday. Cool. Take your fucking 10-minute fucking break on the way home from work. Listen to whatever you want to. Vibe out. Chill. Come home. Open the door. Look at those faces and say that your everything went on with work or friend or anything that is more important than them.
Banter with them like you do
Yeah.
your fucking coworkers.
Yeah, just keep it in like the right age range. That's not hard.
Like that stupid bitch Jessica was at us again. Like like fucking level it down just a little bit.
I remember I called the kids. I looked at them one time. I told them, like, y'all are just little shits. And they're like, we are not. I say, why not? I said, because that's a bad word. Well, sometimes I want to call you some goddamn bad words because of some of the things you do, but I don't.
How
So,
dare you act like me?
and then, and then the one time, like I said, this is the best story ever. I'm playing video games with a little one, and she's just like, she's playing everything that, and I fucking whoop her ass in it. And she looks at me, stone faced, blue eyes, stares right at me, and I see her just go from like that smile to that fucking I fucking can't stand you look. It's like, you're a bastard. And I'm just like, I looked at her, like, you might want to go to your room now. And she's like, okay. And I sat there and I processed it. I'm like, huh. She used it correctly. She meant it.
Got
Damn.
her
All right.
ass whooped.
I'm like, I won the game, but somehow this little asshole won the war.
Mm-hmm.
God
Mm-hmm.
damn. And I told her to come back. I was like, all right, honey. So yeah, we try not to use that word like that. You used it correctly though, but let's not do that. Okay. She said, okay. So she said, am I in trouble? I said, no, you're not in trouble. We're going to sit down and talk about it like always. And we sat down and talked about it for like 20, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, it's like with me, so yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I'm telling your mother though. She's like, why? Because she's gonna fucking die laughing. I told her mother, she just fucking laughed so hard. And she's like, it's funny because you are a bastard. It's like, fuck you, I know.
No, it's pretty good. It's like right on the fucking nail.
I know. She's like, does she know what it means? No. But
No,
I'm about to teach her.
no, but it doesn't help.
And I taught her what it meant. And she's like, and she felt bad. She felt bad so bad. She's like, I'm sorry you didn't have a dad. It's like, it's okay, baby. I'm fine.
That's how it goes
It's all
sometimes.
good. Not everybody has a dad. It's all good. Not a big deal. But no, man, it's one of those things like you can banter with your children so well, and then it'll help them out in life too, because then that gets them to be able to fucking conversate and have fucking good funny times with people. Well, good times, which everybody wants their kids to have good times, but they're afraid to cross certain lines because, like, well, that's not nice. If it's funny though.
Right.
It's just one of those things. Like, I never shielded the kids from too many things, especially like if I knew their age range was good. But like sometimes, like, they look at me like, "Well, why are you black?" I was like, "Because I didn't have a choice." And they're like, "What the fuck?" I was like, and so my friends like, "What the fuck did you say?" I said, "I didn't have a choice. Why?" I said, "Why you say that?" I said, "I don't know, Mr. White Privilege. Tell me."
The spray paint gun was set on permanent values. I don't know what to tell you.
The oven was too high.
Yeah, yeah.
Supposed to be
Fucking
350. They
cookie
said
basin
fucking
over here.
700.
Well, that story continues,
Go
sadly
ahead.
enough. So we try that out. Not working out. I end up one of the nights I was working on some more casework from the drug facility I was working at the time, and some other clients that I was working with on the sidelines of the suicide hotline stuff and vet heavy stuff of things that I was doing side projects with that couldn't afford actual therapy, and was talking with them, and then I get a message in my Facebook of this random dude like, hey, just wanted to let you know that this woman that you have on your relationship status was messaging me trying to get me to, get with her and all of this stuff and showed me all of the like
Yeah.
stand up to that homie still. I don't remember his name at all and I don't have Facebook anymore. But gave me that and I told her to leave. Get out of my house. You aren't welcome here. So pack up your shit, get the fuck out. I sat her down and showed her everything. You think this is weird?
Yeah. You handle
And
that
she
way
didn't
better
say
than I
anything
do.
and I was like, "Cool. All right. So you're going to pack up your stuff and go to your grandparents and you're no longer welcome in this house."
Yeah, you handled that way better than I did. Well, you know Bubba story.
Yeah. But, and that happened, right? And so I drew up paperwork and got it, finalized by a lawyer and I was like, "Hey," I sat her down again and was like, "You won't have to pay me any money. You don't have to pay for schooling. You don't have to, give me anything. The only stipulation is you stay the fuck out of our lives." And she thanked me. And now that when she thanked me, that was the
Mm.
first time I truly ever wanted to brutally put hands on a woman. But it was also the woman of my child too, and I'm like, so it was like a fucking shell shock moment, It
How could
full.
you fucking want to give away your own fucking child like that?
She
Not even
smiled
in
at me
life.
and said thank you. Like like the audacity and fucking it was everything all at once and just like and
Yeah,
you're
that
really
that
okay.
that
Yep.
would seriously probably put me into such a fucking rage, and I don't know what I would fucking do because again, this is this child who is completely innocent in the whole situation,
Mhm. And
and
he's
you're just
so
like,
awesome. You've seen him.
yeah, he is. You know, it's one. That's why I'm just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I get not being able to provide. I
Mhm.
get you're fucked up. I get you've made some shitty fucking choices.
But it
But
wasn't about
this,
her. He wasn't her. So she
you know,
didn't care.
fuck her on that standpoint. You shouldn't
I
have fucking chosen to give birth if you can't fucking handle it.
And she ended up doing that shit to another dude later down the line. Same exact thing. And, Jace has a half brother out there somewhere. But, I've lost contact with him. Yeah,
But yeah,
so
that's crazy that I don't understand how people can do that. Like in my head, I was like, I don't. This doesn't make sense to me at all. How people can fucking truly do that to a child.
it's your
Like
blood.
you know me on that one. Like that's different than
I know,
that.
but
But it's
still,
your
even
child,
then.
no. Like that's different than like your mom, your cousins. Son. It's a fucking child. Even my own mom probably wouldn't. If I ever did some stupid shit like that, my own mother I know would probably come up here, beat my ass first, then talk to me, and then say what the fuck is actually wrong with you.
Get your shit together.
100%. And that's one of the things I don't get. Like I've dated people
And
with
her
children.
grandma at the time, bless her heart, hearing that same exact conversation go down, she just gave me a hug and said, "I'm sorry."
That's
Because
the
she
only thing she
saw
can
you
do.
could you can see when someone is viscerally hurt
Mm-hmm.
because like it was a mix of just pure fucking rage and like stab right through the fucking heart of like
Yeah,
ununderstanding, if that makes sense.
it makes sense. It's just I'm thankful I've never had to go through that because I do know my reactions to things like that, and I'm pretty sure I'd be in prison, like just because of just who I am. Because
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's not like I hate women or anything like that. It's just the fact of that right there. It's like
what
I get it if like
kept
you
me out is because he would not be able to be taken care of and would be taken away by CPS and
yeah
put into somewhere else.
state regulated everything like that, which is
And you
shit.
through through just getting out of a year and a half fight of 30K, a full house being thrown at the state of Texas to back to nothing just because of my own bad decision. Like I was over that. I had more self-control then.
Yeah,
and it was the numbness help of learning how to numb, like flashbang it out.
yeah,
Flashbang, I'll deal with that later. Compact, compartmentalize, set that aside for now, and sign the rest of the papers and get the fuck out of here before you do something stupid.
yeah. Like I said, I've dated some women with children, and lucky that something like that hasn't happened. There's some selfishness issues where I think that they should just kind of get the fuck over it here and there. And
Mm.
I'm just like, I'll just do it. And it's kind of one thing, I'll just do it. And they're like, well, and so they're like, I want you to go with me. It's like, no, I'm good. Because I'd rather spend time with the kids
Yeah,
than go out with
they're
you.
dope.
Because they're fantastic. They're funny. They're really fucking funny. And especially when you let them talk and let them be themselves, they're great. And it goes back to that standpoint because some people, like, when they see me out when I was with the kids, like, they're so well behaved. They come up and compliment them and me.
Because there's a difference between interacting in the home and then outside in a social environment.
And
And that's
then,
what I've taught Jace. And he's like, yeah, he's the sweetest fucking boy that I've ever goddamn met. Yeah,
oh man, sometimes
there's a
I'm like,
reason for that.
sometimes I'm getting notes from the teachers and shit like that, and they're like, I look and they're like, oh, the sweetest, kindest, so smart. I was like, huh? I'm like, I read that
And
note again. I look at it,
and
it's like,
then down at
huh?
the very bottom, I get the little additive, like he could talk a lot less and stop interrupting class while he's talking. I was like,
I didn't get
ah,
much of
there it
that.
is.
Only one of the kids did that, and that's one of those things I was like, I get why.
Mm.
I was like, because they're excitable, they're happy,
He's
they're
very
just
vocal about his he doesn't have inside thoughts. He can't put the inside thoughts not coming out from the outside thoughts yet.
yeah.
But that,
I believe that's
coming
learned
from a
habit.
spawn of me, spawning from me, like
Yeah,
that's a pretty good necessity of it. Still enjoyable. He's not getting in trouble for it in the worst way, just being annoying.
yeah. But like I said, that's also a learned habit too. Like you go over time, you learn like what should be like filtered out sometimes and
Mm.
not. Because even yourself, you do it a lot. Even though you say like, I just no, you do filter it. Even myself, I filter a lot. And most people think, oh, you're just not being honest with yourself. So no, okay, I'm pretty sure if I say this
No,
in
I'm
the
just
way that
being
I have
silent.
going, that's going through my head, none of you will be here. So
Well, like in a lot of the situations, even when I was first meeting you, like of joining in to,
the first time I fucking met you, it was fucking chaotic. I jumped in there and you're like, get the fuck out. I was like, I got told to be here. Okay, fine. I left. I didn't come back for like 2 weeks. I was like, cool, whatever. I was like, no, he obviously something's going on. And like Bubba was like, no, something. I said, I don't care what the situation was. It has nothing to do with me. But like that's a first standpoint, so I'm gonna wait. He's like, what do you mean? I have access. I'm going to fucking wait and wait until I make sure it's all good. It's like, why? I said, I know I didn't say anything. I just said, hey, how y'all doing? And they just fucking that. So I knew the situation was high stress already. So I'm gonna wait and let everything cool off where I think it's enough time to cool off, and then I'm gonna come back in. And then we talked afterwards, say, "Hey, sorry about that." And I was like, I don't care. It had nothing to do with me. So you're good. So everything good? You're like, yeah, everything good. All right, cool. We kept going.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
There was just three other people that had already interrupted a fucking discussion that we were having. I was like, I swear to God, like it gets to a point of like, dude, I want everyone to be able to join in, but just you joined in right at the discussion point for the eighth fucking time in a row of someone interrupting this person that we were talking to, trying to discuss something important, and I'm like, fucking leave.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Like I said, it didn't bother me at all. Like Bubba, I think it bothered Bubba more than it bothered me because he's like, "Oh, I told my friend to come here, and this is what happens." So it's like, no, dude, it's all good.
Oh, that's sweet baby boy.
Oh my god! But like I said, it didn't bother me at all. Like, and I'm like, cool. It's like I can tell he cares. I said, why is it? Because most people don't care, don't give a fuck who shows the fuck up when they're having a serious conversation. He's like, you don't care either. It's like, yeah, but my dynamic is different. So what I can navigate it
There's a
too.
lot of layers.
I like pulling from other people who might have a standpoint that I didn't think of either. Because it's a good thing to make yourself better. or learn from somebody else if you can't figure it out
Yeah, but you
yourself.
don't want no kind of echo chamber and shit.
Yeah, I don't want an echo chamber, but that's what I deal with a fucking lot. You've
I know
seen
you
it
do.
because you pay attention to certain people that they talk and everything like that. Then all of a sudden I say something, and everything they said they stand for that just fucking slowly changes to where I want. And I write it down. I've written it down so many times, and somebody's like, when somebody called me out for it, I said, "What are you writing?" It's like, just stuff. I'm like, what do you mean,
Stuff.
just
I'm,
stuff?
I'm, I'm just
It's
taking
like,
notes,
just
man.
things for myself, so I know later on. And then I watch systematically as they fall off, or how they start saying, "Oh, I detest this person," because I get the messages, I get the receipts. I was like, "All right, cool,
Mm-hmm.
that's good." And then I just like slowly said, "Cool, just don't talk to this person anymore. Don't talk to this person anymore. Don't deal with this person anymore. Lean back away from this person because they're not a problem, but I see it might being a fucking problem."
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, like I was doing this all right, and you're like, "You got snakes in the grass." I was like, "I know." He's like, "I know, but I'm gonna let the snake eat its own tail and just watch it happen."
I'm a Ouroboros motherfucker.
Yeah, and like
But it's at the detriment of your own mental facilities too. And you got to remember that as
you
well.
say it is, but at the same time, I do need that little bit of chaos here and there that's gonna fucking shake things up. I require it every once in a while.
You don't need the chaos. That's just
I
something
feel
that
like
you're
I
not
do.
ready to let go yet
Hold the
of
fuck up. What do
past
you mean
life.
let go?
You have to let that go.
What do you mean by
There's a
let
part of
go?
you that needs that chaos for a certain
Mm-hmm.
reason. So eventually, when you're strong enough to fucking let that shit go too, then you don't even need that chaos and you can build other parts that are even better for you. Isn't that a difference?
Yeah, it is a difference. I said ask, I said ask, wondered. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit here and a little bit
It's
there. You know what I'm
amore.
saying?
It's a fucking pizza. I don't know fucking Mario.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Yeah. Oh man, it's just one of those things of I feel I need it. Let me say it that way. I feel like I need it because, excuse me, as much as I hate unplanned things, that out of nowhere kind of thing makes my brain go into overdrive of let's figure out this situation. Like now, let's go plan A, B, C, D, and go through every fucking contingency across every spectrum I can think of, and then look back at like all the old things I've been through. And it's like, all right, cool, we're gonna handle like this. If that didn't work, we're gonna go this way and go this way. And then and somebody fucking saw me do it one time with somebody else, and they're like, "Yo, I just saw you just Jedi mind trick this fucking person like 20 times in a row, and they didn't fucking realize what you were doing." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, then I looked at like, "Yo, what's your fucking background first, motherfucker?" And they're like,
I
"Oh,
didn't hear anything.
I'm." He's like, I'm what?" And he's like, "Oh, I was intel." I was like, "Yeah, you shut the fuck up. Don't say shit." He's like, "What? Don't say shit." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "They got their
Not
solutions yet."
a nada
He's
should be
like, "They got their
coming out.
solutions yet. They're not hurting themselves or anyone else. Yes, and they're good now, right?" So yes. So what's the problem? He's like, "Don't you think it's a little manipulative?" It's like, it definitely was. That one 100% was. He's like, "Why?" I said, "Because instead of harming themselves, they decided to go sit down, talk to somebody in person, and anything else." So yeah, I think the ends justify the means on that standpoint. He's like, "Yeah." So we're good. He's like, "Yeah, I think so." And then 2 weeks later, they came back around like, and he's like, "I apologize. I'm not gonna apologize to me, man. Not at all. Just make sure you're good." That was it because everybody's like, I think because it was risky no matter what it was the way they were leaning because it was like they're by themselves, they had a loaded weapon, and there's so many different things that could have been said that could have led them to I'm gonna pull the trigger or I'm gonna run my fucking truck off the road and just fucking hope I die. I'm like, cool, we're gonna do it this way because everybody's like, you should handle that with care. I said, you can handle that with care with the right person, but
Care is not gonna matter.
the people that need somebody to be there, care
Well,
is not the important thing. It's just you need to be there.
not only that, you have to take control, and that
Yeah,
which is the iridescent value of yourself of having to be in control. Asking for help is the hardest thing for anyone that needs to be in control at every fucking basis. You know, like it's It's a nuance. And what we were just talking about there to begin with, of having to release something else, it reminded me of this Tony Robbins with Theo in their little interview deal.
Yeah.
It was, I'm gonna send it to you just because it's for a later time, or you can watch it to your own volition.
Yeah.
But it's the idea of,
Whoa. What's whoa?
I don't know, everything just changed places. It was like Mad Hatter fucking shit right there.
Listen, everybody, this is why you don't watch porn on your PC. Use your phone.
Don't tell me how to live my life, you son of a bitch. You see, I was trying to help. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking.
the
I'm
fucking,
just Terry going back into my white
to
boy
be
fucking talk.
the petty ass fucking Terry over here. Just, you should know this already, but since you don't, I got you, boo boo.
Okay, so I have a story on this since it goes to the topic of estranged relationships or friendships, what have you. I would like to hear a story of yours that you have truly had to cut off a person that it truly like viscerally hurts you to do, but you knew it was better
Go ahead.
that way. If you have one, or I can talk about mine first, and then maybe if you can
I
figure
got,
out
I
one
got,
for you.
I got a couple. So,
All right, we'll go
all
with
right.
the first one, and then I got one, and then maybe we can touch on
So,
the second afterwards.
so for me, I think it has to be the kid's mom. It wasn't one that I severed myself,
Mm,
which is why it hurts the most. We were doing the be there for the kids thing for like a year or two after we split, you know, talking about Christmas, talking about everything else. And then I said something about moving to Texas. And she's like, I think that'd be really good for you because you seem if you stay here, you might end up being dead. And she wasn't wrong because I was constantly spiraling, manic issues, mania every fucking other week. When TT Teresa, she's always been there for me, even though she didn't know what's going on. She still doesn't know
right.
what's going on most of the time, and she just knows something's wrong. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm coming there right now. I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "I just have a feeling," and she just always knew something was wrong.
You can smell it. It's like the ozone layer fucking before a psychotic break. You can smell what was that movie with the two personalities,
Split.
with the two split personality, Fight Club. You don't talk about it, but it's there. The smell of ozone before the fucking split.
Yeah,
People notice that. It's just like your dog constantly tries to, whenever you're,
yeah. Whenever I get a little bit too much anything, he's like, "What you doing? Where we
hey,
going?" We're gonna stay right here.
want
He keeps
pat
me
me?
very present.
Want pet me? Can I have a drink? But you can pet me?
Yeah, he's like, "You got some food too?" Okay, cool. It works out for
Alright.
both of us.
Woo!
But yeah, and I finally moved, and things felt like they're going well. Kept talking to the kids like every week or twice a week. Everything that talking to them all, making sure they're all good. And then randomly, I get blocked on every fucking thing there is, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So I call my sister, and she's like, she blocked you because it'd be better for the kids if you weren't in their life, things like that. And then like some other petty reason, and I was like, I asked a question how they're doing because I found out her relationship got dissolved and I knew she was living with a guy. So I was making sure the kids were good. And then, she said you could have just asked her directly. Like, I know most time I ask directly, I don't get direct answers. So I just went and asked around the people that she was dealing with because I knew she'd tell one of them something. So I was
That's a
like, cool.
dangerous territory there,
It
Terry.
was. It was. But St. Difference is ends just for the mean, make sure the kids are good. I don't give a fuck about what she's doing, just making sure the kids were good. And then come to find out, I was like, cool. I was like, maybe in a little time it'll undo it, whatever. And never did.
Did you see that breath of outtake right there?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were reliving that stress for a second, and then you
Yeah.
remembered to fucking release
It
all of that air.
it's something that eats up with me almost every other day. It's because it's always a worry of like, I hope they're okay. I hope they're doing well, and I hope they
Not your
remember
job
just to
anymore.
simply be. I don't give a fuck if it's not my job anymore. I love those fucking children, and it's just I'm always going to care for them. Like me and Jess talked about it the other day, And she's just like, I can tell you love them so much. She's like, yeah. And she's like, I wish my kid's dad would have been that way, at least half of that of caring. I was like, why? She said, because you can tell you actually give a fuck. You can tell that you would do anything for them. And she asked, she's like, is there any reason you'd ever go back? I said, yeah, if they ever needed me.
Yeah,
He's like,
we
what do you mean? He
talked
said,
about
I
that
would
a
say,
couple times.
it's like I said, I wouldn't give a fuck about myself or anything going on. I would go just because of that. It's like, what if it had been the worst decision in your life doing that? I say, it wouldn't be. So why? Because I would help them with whatever they needed to. And whatever happens to me after that, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
So,
it's children.
yeah. And
We
like,
all have our time. My time is, I'm midway. Like, there's other things now.
yeah.
Now,
And like,
I do have an interesting observation on this too.
go ahead.
Now, from the lack of those children being in your life and how much that affected you, are you trying to find that in other people that you're being surrounded by now while trying to build a business that you treat like a relationship?
Honestly, no.
You don't think so?
Because there's nothing that can fill that void like that. Yeah.
You protected the youngins that were already being treated differently. You
Hmm.
constantly take care of other people's problems, aka.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, do you think that fucking plays in a little bit?
Not like that.
Not a,
To an
not a full
extent,
not a full replacement, but
no.
it's the
Not
same
even not even a
ideology.
band-aid. Not even like a
But
band-aid.
it's the same ideology. Yeah, you can spread
Because
out the same pain.
even when I was there with the kids or that, I still did this what I'm doing now.
Hmm.
So it's not like,
But
it's
you were
replace one with
manic.
the other. Yeah,
You
I
were
was
you
manic.
were manic and fucked up.
I was manic and
But
fucked
now
up.
you're not. And
Yeah,
now
I
you
know.
have that manic fucked upness to fucking deal with, and you need to replace it with something else.
I don't think I need to replace it. I think I need to find something that's like, because as I said, I still do therapy and I've had to figure that part out because I know I can't figure it all out myself. Because if I could have, I would have by now.
Mm. And
It's,
which, by the way, in no way should anyone do the same kind of way that I treat my mental facilities.
yeah, it's
But
just,
there's a lot of culmination. That's a whole other discussion.
yeah, it's for me, I do find a lot of relief when I do help others, but that's just how I've always been, even before children were a part of like
It's a
any
new drug.
equation. It just helps me to feel better about myself in some way, shape, or form. Because most people like go back to like, even the clip of myself when it's like I don't feel like I'm worth anything most of the time. No matter what I've done, accomplished,
It
or
doesn't
done for
matter.
anyone else, it doesn't mean shit to me because it's like cool, I've done all those great things, I've done good things, I've done some fucking wild shit that most people can't even fucking dream about. So yeah.
Uh, Spearmint. We'll go with spearmint.
Yeah, but all these things I can't even, like most people can't even fathom, like leaving their fucking country, like just for once. People can't even think about doing that shit, but I've jumped out of planes, been blown up, been shot at, shot other people, done things like that, and they think like, oh, it's like a movie or a video game. It's not the same, man. Like you don't get that fucking smell. You don't get the fucking sense, heightened sense. Like I couldn't explain it. Like when I came back, it's like there's a sense and a feeling you don't get again, and you
The
will
copper,
chase
the
that.
adrenaline, the
You'll chase that fucking feeling constantly, and I always want it. But like some people are fiends for like drugs and things like that, and I've never really done drugs or that. But alcohol, I have. Nicotine, I have. It's not the fucking same. It doesn't even touch it. So it's like,
well, don't try heroin, Terry,
I'm
because
not gonna try
goddamn,
heroin. That's one of those things I've never done really any hard drugs. I've tried weed
I've done
before.
all of
It's
them.
just yeah, I've tried weed before and it's like the best sleep I've ever gotten in my entire fucking life. But I was like, not for me. It's not something that I want to actually say, yeah, I can't get it back. I know I can't get it back ever again. So I was like, cool, I have to accept that. So I had to fill that void with something else. And for me, helping people has been that for me. Because it's not only doing something good, which I try my best to do. I do try my best to do what's good and right, but I know for a fact it's going to bite me in the ass 9 times out of 10,
So
no matter
you,
what it is.
so you give me more of like a kind of monk vibe
How's so monk vibe?
of standings. Like for me, I always say I play the fool card because that's how I learned through my wisdom of doing only the wrong things consistently and then having those experiences to help other people, right? Like from you experienced these things and it fucked you up, and then you learned how to bless yourself and slowly over time became okay with it. Still becoming
Still
okay with it.
becoming is probably the best way.
Like, but it's a wolf versus wolf kind of thing now that you're battling with, where you only fed one, now you have two wolves to feed that you're starting to get the hang of,
And
you
that's what
know?
Tony said last time we talked about it too. He's
Yeah.
like, you gotta feed both. It's like, how do you feed one but starve the other one?
Yeah,
The other one's
I
going to take
remember that
over.
part of the conversation. It does make sense, especially to your aspect, because while I know the same, I don't know, going over into other countries and doing this shit, but, I know getting shot and stabbed and all of that fun thing gets along in time, but you don't not want to go back to it either. Like it's another drug.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
beyond a drug almost. It's because it's like primal. It's a primal aspect of that we lost a long time ago that they've turned into a tool.
And it's not even that as a tool now. It's so villainized now, especially when you do it for the right
Not as
reasons.
much as
Like
like
for the
Nom, but
no,
like
not as much as non, but it's still villainized because like you should never want to do this. And I watched an interview of somebody else, like someone that's a criminal, okay, talking to a lawyer who's never done anything wrong, okay. And I thought about you instantly when I saw this interview and finished it. And I'm just like, he's like, yeah, if I don't get my life right in a year, I'm going to commit fraud again. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to do that. And they're like, there's no reason to do that. And he looked at her and said, so you're a mother, right? Yes. So say your husband dies, you lose your job, the economy keeps fucking tanking, the job market dries up again fully for you, even though you're decorated, whatever you do. So yeah, and there's a choice. So, yeah, you walk in the grocery store and take one loaf of bread that will make sure your kids are fucking taken care of, or not, and you watch your children suffer. So yeah, would you take that loaf of bread and take the risk of getting caught, or would you say no, that's not the right thing to do?
well, it's the same argument of struggle I deal with every day, and we've talked about it too. Like,
Yeah,
as being a fucking drug dealer, like a
yeah,
like I haven't I've talked about you with a little bit like of just not showering from time to time. It's not like I go out right now. I work from home, and as long as bills are being paid, if it's short on bills and stuff, I won't eat as much, or I won't shower as much because water facilities here right now are fucking crazy.
yeah. It's fucking
And
crazy to me how expensive water is there.
it's you're telling me about it, and it's not even good water. But to take those sacrifices over that ever constant nag in the back of your brain, hey, you could go make 30 grand right now. You
Yeah,
can go make 30 grand right now. Hey, all of your friends, all of their jobs that they're working right now, you can make that this weekend.
and
All of them put together.
that's another thought too, because somebody looked at me and my degrees and so that's like you said, what stopped you from just saying like this person
Me,
here has all this money.
I'm stopping me from
So
doing that.
I know you might know a way to do this stuff without getting caught. So yeah, and drain their account and just move it somewhere else. And though you don't have access to it at this instantaneous moment, but you can just siphon it here and move it here and then get it back to yourself and be able to be good. So what stopped you? He's like, I choose not to do that because it's a choice. It's a personal choice. But going back to the interview, and this guy said, my level to commit a crime is lower than yours, but you will still get there if you put yourself in the right situation.
Hmm.
And that's why I'm so. That's why I love any true apocalypse situation because it goes from, like I say all the time, morality versus survivability.
Well,
Which
yeah,
one
like
survives? Which one lands?
the Jordan Peterson
Jordan
quote.
Peterson. Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking every man should know how to use his sword, but keep it sheathed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because in times of war, a man that doesn't know how to use a sword, you're
Yeah. Is it
like,
what's better, being a warrior in a garden or a gardener in a war kind of
right.
thing?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I tell people all the time. They're like, I'm looking, like, do you have the capacity for violence? So like
Yes.
what you said, it doesn't mean that you choose violence every time. It's like, do you have the capacity for it if it's needed? Like either to defend or survive or make sure everything's protected. Because so many people I know don't, and I don't understand it either. I look at the areas they live in. I look at this like there's so much prominent violence in their areas. Like it could just happen just walking outside checking the fucking mail, dude.
Are you
Like,
just gonna
can
be a
you
statistic? Is that what you hope to be? Like
and
fucking
that's where I'm getting at. It's like, I get it. Like, cool. Don't harm anyone else out of volition, out of like
like
fuck.
just
What's the word
because I
for it?
know I can kill people doesn't mean I'm walking out on the street.
Yeah, like have your morals for it, but you need to be prepared just in case. And I look at people like look at like fucking school shootings, the statistics of that. Everybody's looking at the U.S. Like we had the conversation the other night. That we had that conversation. It's like I get he doesn't know the difference because he's not here experiencing it sometimes, but you still look at it from that. You look at it from that microscope. You're like, it makes a good point. Why? And I'm looking at it, and I know the answer why already. Is like because they know for a fact they could get so much damage done in such a short amount of time, and because there's no one there that can stand up to do it. Because the ones that do stand up to do it to stop it, everything they do try, but in those situations they either get shot or something like that because either they don't have the training, they don't have the sense of how
The
it works.
training. There you go. The training.
But go ahead.
No, no, the aspect of it, of just training. Like
Yeah.
every teacher, I think, should be fucking armed and trained.
I don't
Like,
think everyone should be armed because I think because some of them still don't have the capacity for violence themselves, even in self defense situations. Like if it's
so,
like
like
let's go like
maybe
back in the
more
'90s,
teaching,
maybe yeah.
like, well, yeah, fucking 90s were dope. But so then maybe barricading, learning how to truthfully barricade in stressful situations and completely shut off emotional standings. My mother gets mad at me all the time of like when something truly goes wrong, like a wreck, and I say, pull over, let me the fuck out. And she's freaking out, but I go and deal with these situations, and then it's fine. I'll deal with the uptake later. Like you put that there, there's a wall you got to put down, and then you go into action. There's no anything else. You keep observations out, do everything you need to do, get it done, and then you can think about everything afterwards. That's a fucking afterthought.
I have a story on this because this happened when I think I was like 15, 12, 15, somewhere around there. My buddy Zach Stoner, I went to school with him. His older brother is a grade above me. He wrecked, I think, right on the bridge. It was right when we lived right outside Lacey, and like on Highway 94 itself, out going into Groveton. He
Hmm.
wrecked on the bridge, and we thought a propane tank fucking blew up. How bad the wreck sounded, and he came walking up to the door and knocked on the door. I heard it. I woke up. My granny was there with us that night. She opened the door, saw him, and he only asked, "Can I use your phone?" And my granny is a sweetheart, man. Like cared everything that had her boundaries, but she cared a lot. And she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get you taken care of." And he's like, "What do you need? Are you hurt?" Everything there is nowadays, or something like that happen. You knock on the door, they're gonna be like, "No, they ain't gonna answer." Most times,
Dude, I got a story for that too.
so it's like, and to this day, like I talked to him like think like a couple months ago, and he's like, "Dude, I still remember when I wrecked." And he's like, "Your grandmother was so kind, so like if that wouldn't happen, I don't know what happens." Like, yeah, there's no telling because it was
Believe me.
pitch black at night, and it's a country town, so there's not street lights and shit like that. So that anything could have fucking happened to him, especially with how many 18 wheelers go back and forth around there. Anything could have happened to him, but he got taken care of and everything like that. And it's like, yeah, that's fantastic. I love that because, like I said, I have nothing but good stories about my granny, and it's just like showing me like how to
It
treat
was a
people and
time
things like
of
that.
different age too.
Yeah.
Was she a religious woman?
Yes, very, very much so.
So the reason why it's very interesting because I have the same concept of I was trying to kill myself out of one of my very first relationship, the big one, the
Yeah.
one that I ended up fucking in and out a couple times over. Um, I was trying to kill myself through driving and just wrecking hard enough. I flipped 3 times throughout, flew out through the passenger side window, smashed straight through, flew out like 16 feet, dragged on the ground, and then walked 5 miles through a bean field because, well, guess what? It didn't fucking kill me. And, went to this house, just some farmer house, and knocked on the door. And I was like, hey, can I get a ride to my house or a phone call?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they brought me in, they sat me down and, fed me some breakfast. And they started talking about, God and, it's never, are you religious? Like, yeah, in a way. And, they prayed for me. And then he took me home and then I sat down on my couch when I got home and just, I passed out sitting up like how I'm staring at you right now. I
Yeah.
had, multiple like concussion, lacerations on my face and everything. And next thing I open my eyes up to is a police officer standing there, like, "Hi." And they tried to get me with the, we saw your tire tracks of, driving erratically. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, man, like that. Like, we all getting. Thankfully, there are people like that still. It's hard to find now, but
But I mean,
thankfully, there are hard.
it's a different kind of people. A lot of the churches now base a fucking different form in this time that we're living in than what me or Germ would expect of any religious person to be.
That's the thing about it, because you know those kind of people, man, that will literally quote the Bible, but they're not about that life. Those
Yeah, the same person that
those
would judge
weekend,
the first person that came into that door.
yeah. And like I tell people all the time, like I say, I listen, I judge, but it's not like judgment on them. Is I just weigh it out in my head of like why. Like I'm not putting true like judgment and penalization on people when they tell me things. It's I just had to weigh it out. It's like then I have follow up questions on it. Why did you do this? Like, what sense did it make, and what were you going through to make this fucking choice like this?
Mm.
And some people say, well, that's rude of you to do. It's like, no, it's not. It's like somebody's getting married. Like like I ask them like sometimes like why are you getting married? It's like, wait, if it's because you love them, that's not enough reason. Like, you gotta look at it from this is a risk you're taking of saying that, hey, do you think this person is going to be there with you and
I
hold
can't
you
imagine
and
you,
everything?
Jerry, thinking about risk evaluation. Wow.
Oh yeah, I know. But I look at it all the time like that, and they look at me and say, "Well, somebody's like, that's rude to fucking ask that question." No, it's not. Say because you look at everything that's happened. The divorce rate's fucking high. Everything else, like infidelity is fucking high. Like you look at everything. Because yes, you can have trust in this person, but look at this. Look at the landscape of how everything happens. Especially like if you're in certain areas and things like that. If they like, let's say like you get out of shape, like so the attraction loses, or maybe you have a bad fucking day one day and punch a hole through a wall because you're trying to maintain your anger and it just comes out randomly. And everybody's like, well, that's just not being like able to control themselves. Like, everybody
No.
snaps. Everybody fucking snaps every once in a while.
But it's where you put that snap too.
Yeah.
It wasn't in some guy like, "Hi, how are you today?" Fucking like,
Yeah.
and it was at the wall that, yes, didn't deserve it and I'll have to fix later, but that's a hell of a lot better than someone that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, because like even when I was married, man, I had my snaps. Yeah, I was in the military and that, and it was like, well, you need to stop hitting your truck. Why? Say, well, because that just shows that you don't have control of yourself. I have really more control of myself than hitting who I want to hit. It's like, what do you mean? My truck, I pay for it, I own it, I can pull the dent out myself. So then why don't you pull the dent out? Because I know there's going to be another one. There's no point until I get myself under control. Like when this problem's not going to happen anymore. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, and somebody sat down with me one day. It's like, why
It's
do
a
you hit your
reminder
truck?
as well.
Yeah. And somebody's like, why do you hit your truck? I said, because at the time, my wife at the time was doing this, doing that, the being, doing infidelity shit, like cheating and stuff like that. And instead of me losing my shit on that, I hit my truck. I calmed down. I took a walk. I came back. I addressed the situation. We sat down and talked about it all to figure out why it's fucking happening and then whatever's going on. And everyone's like, why didn't you just get divorced? Because at the time I didn't believe in divorce. I was really like, I grew up in a very religious town, very everything that's like, look, you marry somebody, you actually make this fucking pact to this person and you try to work through it. You try to figure out this way to fix it. You don't just
Which is
instantly say, oh, just
completely
divorce them.
nuanced.
Yeah. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, let's go to therapy. Let's figure out this. Let's figure out some way to see if this is going to be able to manage it. Because I've seen so many people that have been in relationships get divorced, get their shit together, and they get back in their fucking relationship and they're successful. So why would I want to spend so much fucking money if we can just sit down, go to therapy, figure out what's fucking the problem here,
Do you think
and then
therapy helps?
sometimes it matters if you're open to it. If you're actually truly open to it, because it could, like I said, sometimes therapy shows that this doesn't work out right too. So you need to be open minded to accept the answer that might be in front of you.
Mm.
But therapy helped me a lot when we did our marriage counseling because it showed that she wanted something completely fucking different. She didn't want to be the
When
military
you're
wife.
very like fucking rhino nose to the horizon, like you're going in a direction.
Like therapy for that was great. Therapy for myself, brain
Whole,
right,
yeah, whole other different ball
because
game.
like I'm
That's a
okay
lot of
accepting.
acceptance.
I accept that I have problems. I accept I do a lot of dumb shit. I accept I made the wrong choices. I accept that I need help. But when it comes to like situations and shit like that, of why'd you do that? And I told them why. And they're like, and when the therapist just doesn't say anything, just writes it down, I'm just like,
Oh, might as well go ahead and
yeah.
for sticky
And
socks.
then
All right.
my paranoia, because they're not talking, they're just writing. I'm just like, and so I asked, like, what'd you write down? Just a note. I'm like, what's the note? It's like, are you sure you want to know that note? That answer is like, yeah, yeah. And then they tell me, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave now. What? It's like we have another. No, fuck you. I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took me, I think, good 6 years to get a therapist that was able to keep it
Correct
all
for you.
balanced. And even not even correct for me. It was just took so long because I was diagnosed bipolar. I was diagnosed depression, PTSD, TBI. Everything else is like, cool, 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 cool. I thought it was that. And then this one therapist, like, she's like, all right, so I went back in your record. I was like, huh? From the military. It's like, God. See, to now, huh? It's like, you seem to function so well under high stress, under everything else. So, yeah. But when there's truly nothing going wrong, so yeah, everything isn't working right for you. So yeah, it's like you had a fucking badass job. So
You
yeah,
can't be
you
okay.
yeah, and so you had a badass job. You had a good relationship, good happy relationship too. So yeah, you fucked that up out of chaos, and you even said, "Yeah, I fucked it up." So yeah, I fucked up a lot of relationships because of things like that. So yes, and then these little tidbit notes that they said maybe this, maybe that. This is like yeah. So I kept looking back for that. It's like why? Is it because there's a trend with that? So what he means like they wrote that you look off in the distance, you check surroundings. It's not even from paranoia at that point. So what he means it's every fucking note you have of like you be talking to someone else, and they're like, you're not on the phone, you're not talking to the therapist. I was like, yeah, it's like I was like, oh, it's just I just things I just thought I heard something. And she's like, yeah, can I? And she's like, do you mind if I ask to get a scan? And I was like, what? She's like, of your brain. I said, sure, it's not a big deal. CT machine or MRI, whatever you want to do. She said, okay, cool. It's like, so when we schedule that, you're going now. I was like, huh? So you're going right now, and I'm getting those results ASAP. I was like, okay, cool. I go through it all, get scans, so that, and then she sits down with me. She's like, when's the first time you started hearing things that nobody else heard? I was like, huh? Because
What?
this is a conversation me and my best friend Wade had one time because we went to Glorieta to
Yeah.
Gloria, New Mexico for a church trip, and we were sitting down talking. I was talking, and he sit down me. He grabbed me by my shoulders and said, "Sit down," and tell me sit down and say, "Are you okay?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You had a full conversation with the wall, basically." I was like, "I'm
Hmm.
fine." He's like, and he
No,
sat me
you're not.
talking to me a little bit, and then he's like, "What do you do when this normally happens?" I listen to music really loud. That's just it, and just drown it out and just have something feeling something like that. He's like, "Okay," and that kind of steered him in a direction which I hate it did because of he died in a prop plane crash going to do this, trying to go into mental health and psychology and things like
Hmm.
that. But then I joined the military and he found out so many other issues with that. And he's like, I want to fucking get all this shit fucking done for them because they do so much for people and people suffer from this shit. And he passed away that, but he's the only person I ever talked to about it before going to therapy and getting a psychologist. And she's like, yeah, you should never have been in the military. I was like, huh? And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're schizophrenic, not bipolar. I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't know what you mean. I was like, completely avoiding it, completely
Right.
like, no, it's not me.
No, that
Like,
didn't make sense.
didn't accept it. And then she's like, no, she's like, look back at everything. She's yeah, don't look at it from bipolar, like you just emotional flare ups. She's like, I don't think you have an emotional problem like that. So yeah, I was like, I think it is on the mental level for you, and I think you need to sit down and I think you need to write out a lot of things and bring them to me.
It's almost like high stress simulations. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
make more shit happen around you, whether if nothing is happening, more shit needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Constantly, like even today, man, I have so much things completely stimulating me constantly
Hmm.
while having a conversation. And it's one of those things everyone's like, how do you keep this shit straight? And how do you know it just works for me? That's just it.
Yeah, that's just how it works. It works.
Yeah. And then she looked at me and she's like, okay, you, she's like, tell me about after the military. She's like, after the military, we want to talk about it. So why? It's because the military makes sense. Chaos, order, everything like that structure. So yeah, you were forced to work right. So basically, say, yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. And she's like, cool. After that, say, when you got out, say, what happens? Like, I got a drinking problem. And she's like, what do you mean by that? So, I mean, I love the taste of whiskey. She said, when did you start drinking? She said, I think during my separation with my ex-wife. And she's like, why? I said, because like that was a big thing for me. So when I do love someone and care about someone, that's my everything. And she's like, yeah, and I couldn't cope with it because I couldn't cope with the feeling of I failed a marriage, even though it wasn't just on me. It still felt like it was on me. And she's like, okay, what did drinking do? She said drinking made everything quiet again. And she's like, yeah. And then I liked the taste of whiskey. And then I started going out to the bars. So yeah, and I
Oh,
already
that's
was going
that's
out.
that's that's where it fucking goes downhill right
Well,
there.
here's the thing: that wasn't the problem.
Really?
Because yeah, because I go out. I was already going to the bars already. I would go out dancing. Kind of enjoy dancing, but I wouldn't drink. Yes, I know, motherfucker. I get it. Yeah, I like to two step. I
Hey
like to
Terry,
waltz. I
want to
like to
teach me how
ballroom
to
dance.
dance? Want to teach me how to dance?
I
Teach me
can
how to
teach you how
dance.
to dance. I can't do that shit.
Want
I
one
can't
two
do hip hop
step?
stuff. I can't do that stuff. But
You want
I
to
do
swing with
that,
me?
and I can swing with you, brother. You don't weigh that much, but yeah, I do that because
Whee!
like my second mom, Michelle, she when I started drinking at the bar, she came up to me. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just having a beer and a whiskey, a shot of whiskey." She's like, "You don't drink." I was like, "It's okay." And she's like, "Okay." And then I think a couple months later, she sat down with me again, and she's like, "Terry, Sia, you need to stop drinking." I was like, "Why?" I said, "You're doing a lot of bad things." I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm fine." I would, I literally would go out, say I wasn't drinking, plan it in my head like that, and then I'm a likable person, I guess, for some people. And they're like, "I'm getting you a shot, I'm getting you a beer," because I'll just talk and hang out and just be social. And that's where it started over and over again. And then I stopped caring and started getting my own drinks. And I started buying bottles, going to the liquor store, buying bottles of whiskey, and I'd have it in the truck with me constantly. Work or not work, didn't care. Always had it with me. And then somebody sat down with me in my chain of command and said, "Hey, you need to get your drinking under control before you get fucking wreck or kill somebody or kill yourself." I was like, "All right, cool." And so I said, "Cool, I'm gonna slow down the drinking." And then I quit drinking completely again. Then the divorce came up because it was like out of sight, out of mind. Figured it out, don't have to deal with her. And then the divorce came up, had to sit down with her, talk to her lawyers, and everything in me just kind of just came screaming out of, "You fucked this up." Not even point blaming her for it.
Yeah, it was your
It
fault.
was, it was all my
You
fault.
weren't able to keep it together.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't a fortifying presence. Every regular real male's fucking standing of what you're supposed to do. You can call it out on yourself.
Yeah, and I just look at it all the time, and I look back at that part of myself, and like, what the fuck's wrong with you, retard? You know everything's wrong, but you know it. You didn't do anything really wrong. You might have screamed and
You had the
yelled
chance to
sometimes, but you didn't fucking do anything wrong.
you had the chance to fix everything that was something good,
Yeah,
but you can't go back.
yeah, I can't go back. And then one day, I went to Naval Hospital Camp Lejeune, and somebody said, "Congratulations."
Your audio just went
My
down like
audio,
5 decibels.
hello, is that better?
Yep.
All right, cool. But I went to Camp Naval Hospital Camp Lejeune one day, and somebody walked up to me, said, "Congratulations, dude." It's like, "Congratulations for what?" It's like, "You're gonna be a dad." How? And they're like, "Oh, your wife, blah blah blah."
Man.
I
Well,
was
do
like,
I have some thoughts for you on this fucking call right now?
and I'm just like, I haven't been with her in like a year. He's like, "No," and he
Yeah.
just sped walk away. I'm like, he's like, "What the fuck?" And so I call my senior chief. And I was like, "Hey, obviously this is a thing now." And he's like, "Oh fuck, where are you at?" I said, "Naval Hospital Camp Jr." He's like, "Stay right there." I
Sit
said,
right there.
"Okay."
Yep. Good command.
He
Good command.
came to there. He's like, "Yeah, we're going out right now." I remember this like fucking yesterday. Senior Chief Pritchett. He pulled me. He's like, "All right, we're going out to go smoke. We're going to talk. We sound smoke a little bit." And he's like, "Are you going to be okay?" I said, "Yes." He's like, "Give me your fucking house key now." And I was like, "What? Give me your house key right now." I was like, "Okay, cool." I was like, "I'm not going to do anything." He's like, "Not now." So yeah, I was like,
Hmm.
"But
You're
that's a
gonna be
big
left
bomb."
alone.
He's like,
Yeah,
"Yes."
you're
Like,
gonna
I
be left
know.
alone. You are ticking right now.
He's like, "You and her were trying for a kid for so long." So yeah, and that right there is just the biggest slap in the face. I said, "Yep." So he's like, "Cool, you're going to your boy's house. You're not going anywhere near there. You're never going near there by yourself." Said, "That's fine." Went to my buddy's house and I called my buddy Jimmy. And he's like, Jimmy makes a joke out of any fucking thing, no matter what severity or nothing like that. That's who he is. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking funny and fucked up." He's like, "Well," and he asked, like, "You okay?" I was like, "I don't know." He said, "What do you want to do?" Is I want to drink, but and like that's myself gauging myself, making sure I kept myself under control. Still, I was like, "But I think it's going to be bad things that we all go with you. You don't drive, nothing like that. No phone, no nothing." I said, "Cool." Went out to Gus's, met one of my friends, Brooke, there. Had a great time, everything like that. I come back to my buddy's house. I think it was Zach. Yeah, it was Zach's house. My phone's blown the fuck up by my
Turn it
ex-wife.
the fuck up.
It was me. You know me. I still have the issue now.
We can't
I
fucking
answered the
do it 'cause
fucking
you're a
phone.
dumb son of a bitch.
100%. I answered the fucking phone. And she's like, "I can't believe you're cheating on me, blah, 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 blah." I fucking lost it. And I'm like, "Really? I'm the one who fucking cheating? You're the one fucking pregnant." And she just zipped up. And she's like, "I'm not pregnant." I said, sure you are, with this guy's kid. And she's like, how do you know that? I said, because I asked questions. And she hung up on me. Talked to Senior Chief again like the next Monday. We all good. And
Finger gun.
he's like, cool. Said separation papers are already drawn up, everything like that. So it was like, yep. He's like, just you do it. So you say, I can't see her.
Lock in.
He's like, what? I can't see her. He's like, understandable. And then she went down and said, I fucking hit her.
Oh, yeah, I remember this whole
Yeah. So I
ordeal.
hit her. So, I'm sitting with the boys and stuff like that. Get a phone call. Hey, bud, there's a warrant for your arrest. For what? He's like, for assaults on a female. I was like,
Yep.
I looked around. I'm like, when? What? How? I didn't. What? He's like, yeah. It's like,
You were only saved there from your friends at that time. You were only saved from that because you would have been fucked. Just like with my situations of what we talked about earlier, you would have been completely fucked. They will
I
believe
know.
that female. You were only saved from your friends.
Yeah. And then I think about it. I'm like, cool. I'm like, cool. What do I need to do? He said, just go turn yourself in. It's good. You'll be out in the morning. Cool. Do that. They asked me, he's like, what have you been doing that? I said, I was drinking at the Bricks with some of the boys, and that's it. And then I got a phone call there. It's like, what? How long were you there? It's like, from when I got off work till now. He's like, that's weird. He's like, okay, cool. I was like, why? And
No shit.
I look at his last name. I look at the magistrate's last name on there. I was like, are you such and such's dad? He's like, yeah. It's like, me and your daughter talk about you all the time. He's like, okay. He's like, here's what I'm going to do. Say, yep. You're going to stay overnight. Say, yep. You have court in the morning. Say, okay. He's like, then you're released. Say, do I need to pay anything? Nope. Don't got to pay anything. Say, thank you. And I get out. My senior, he looks at me. He's like, I know you didn't do it. It's like, yep. We all know you didn't do it. Like, yep. He's like, but we're going to see
They're
how
gonna
this
try and
goes.
make you seem that you do it.
And then I go through the song and dance of court, man. And the judge was the best judge I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, there's 4 judges down there in Texas that I have completely adored, and the other 17 of them can go suck a different fucking side cock from a Mexican heinous, dirty, herpy riddled ass.
Yeah,
But
but
those first 4 though, they're pretty dope.
like I think his name Judge Hardison. Like, yeah, it's Judge Hardison, older black guy. Fucking, he commanded respect in his courtroom.
Mhm.
Didn't care. Like, if you weren't dressed right, if you didn't speak correctly, you were
Absolutely,
rude at all.
it's
He's like,
court.
cool. He's like, cool. Get out. He's like, what? Get out. And like, cool. I was sitting in the stand. I was sitting in the stands there. I was like, oh, he's serious. And in my head, I'm thinking in my head, back of my head, like, I am so fucked if he just believes everything she says. And he's literally like, all right, cool. Where's our witness? And she comes up there, fucking dressed sloppy, all like messy. You know reason why, but I haven't really like yet
Yeah, I
because I
know.
didn't know. I didn't know at the time. And he's like, there's like, ma'am, do you need to continuance to get ready? And he's trying to be a good person. He's like, no, I'm fine. He's like, you don't see anything wrong with this picture at all. She's like, no. And me, I'm in my uniform, everything like that, dressed, everything like that. He's
Dressed
like,
to the nines. It's
yeah,
court. It's court.
yeah.
This is a fucking standing.
And he's like, he asked me, and he's like, okay, where were you this time? Say, at the barracks. He's like, okay. Say, do you have any witnesses? I have 16 witnesses to say where I was the whole entire time. He's like, okay. He's like, I also have my phone records, everything like that as well to prove that no threats, no nothing like that either. He's like, okay, thank you very much. Got me off the stand. Pulled her on the stand. Fucking crazy, screaming, yelling, pointing, and like throwing. And I'm just like, in my head, like, we're in court. This isn't on TV. This isn't Dr. Phil. This isn't like, Jerry Springer. Yeah. And then he looks at me and he looks at my lawyer and he pulls my lawyer up there. It's like, so what I'm going to do is a minimum is anger management. And then he's free to go. He's like, okay. Got that done. He gave what was going to happen. She lost her shit. And then I looked at my lawyer. I was like, "Can we leave after her or before her? Because I'm not putting myself in that situation." So
Yep.
yeah, and he talks to the judge about it, and then the judge's like, "Yep." Looks at her. He's like, "You sit here, wait until he leaves." Left, got done. I was free and clear. I get a text message from one of her friends,
Of course you do.
not in a threatening way or anything like that. It was saying, "Hey, I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but she's been on meth for the past like 6 months."
Of course.
And I'm like, "So it wasn't my fucking fault."
God
He's like,
damn it, this anger management is gonna feel so great!
I went to anger management, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I did everything, got everything done, all good. That's all fucking done with." And I'm just like, that weight, like that anger of myself just fucking left. And then my chain of command calls me into the fucking office again one day. I think it was Thursday. It's like, okay. It's like, yeah, your wife got in a wreck. I'm like, okay. He's like, you don't care? It's like, not anymore.
Nope.
He's like, why?
It's not
And I
my
showed
job.
him the message I got. And he's like, oh, we can do something with that. I was like, what? He's like, we can do something with that. I was like, okay, cool. And then he's like, I was like, what does she want? She's like, she wants your truck. I was like, she has her own truck. She has her car and her truck, so she doesn't need my truck. He's like, well, she wants your truck because it's more dependable. I was like, no, her truck's drivable and up to date and everything. That it's all good. So no. So that's what we thought. So yeah, we're gonna tell her no. Got it done. Got divorce done. Never saw her again for at least another 6 years. Then I randomly came back into my life. Not to like to be friends, just came across her. I was like, in my head, I'm like, please God, do not come up to me. And she saw me. She's like, she looked at me and everything
I
that.
still have that gut in my, like, that rock there of the fear of one of the women that have truly affected my life in a negative way of saying something, because I love and I love hard,
Yeah,
and I don't know if I still, even to this day, have the power to not respond at all. Because
that was me.
like, I might I might say hi or something. What's up?
Yeah,
But
I'd say I'll be
I can
cordial.
disassociate myself better now
Yeah,
from
I'll
the
be cordial,
situation.
but I will try to find a way to get the fuck away fast as possible. Oh, she came up to me. She's like, "Hey, Terry." I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Wow, you're getting fat." It's like, "Thanks." And then just walked away. I'm like, wow. I'm in my head, like, thank God that did not go on longer because I have so much pent up anger from just that whole situation, that whole relationship after finding that stuff out. And then I left and never saw her again. And then I think it was 2020, 2021 or something like that. No, 2023, I think. A cop's at my door asking if I've seen her. I haven't talked to her in
Why?
fucking years.
It's like, why the fuck would I? Why?
And it's like,
Why?
you know, I'm her ex husband, right? Together, like, no, but you know, everything says that your name, so that's on there. I said, yeah, I got it. We were married. Gotcha, cool. No, I haven't. So I reach out to one of our mutual friends that we still had. We don't talk a lot, but and she's like, "Why is the cop calling me?" He said, "Because they're asking for this. I don't know way to get in touch with her family or anything like that." I know you do. Says that, and they did. And then the cop comes back like a week later. It's like, I'm sorry to inform you of this, and sorry to bother you the other day. He's like, "It's fine, dude." He's like, "No, we found her dead and hanging in a tree." I'm like, God damn. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, it's okay, man. Like, it was a lifetime ago to me. So, it's not like I
I mean,
can
it's
do
not
anything about
okay,
it.
but it's okay.
Well, it's okay in my standpoint because I knew she had a lot of demons and stuff like that to deal with, but she just didn't get the help she needed, and then it went to that route. So I'm not fucking saying I'm happy about it. I wasn't happy about it at all. It
Well,
was
no,
just
you can't
it was
be.
just like, wow, that's how that ends. Because I don't think I said in my head like before, like after the cop left the first time, was like, I hope to God she doesn't show up on my doorstep. I hope to God I never have to see her again.
Well, you got the
Yeah,
wish.
yeah, and that played into my head a little bit because you know how I
Yep.
am. I was like, what the
You
fuck did
gnaw
I
at yourself
wish?
for a little bit for that one.
What the fuck did I wish into existence here, and why the fuck did I do it that way? But
But, that's
can't do
the
nothing
what
about
was
it.
me, how could I have helped in a different way mentality that you have to stray away from.
You know, I honestly, I know it's sad to say for myself. I don't think I would ever want to help her if she was alive today and ask me for help. I wouldn't think I could be able to. You know, like I say
And
that.
you
I know
shouldn't.
I'd probably try someone to help, get somebody else to help her, but myself, I could never do it.
No, you couldn't. It's not your job, first of all. Second of
Yeah,
all, it's only detrimental to you in all standings, whether it works or fails,
yeah, but
because it's involving you.
you know,
By the way, I
mm-hmm.
just want to give a cool shout out for a German over here that says, "What's up, Martin Luther Open Mic? Hello."
Wow, crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
I wanted to end that on a little bit of a smile,
Yeah, but yeah,
so I can
it's
take that off my dossier.
yeah. Also, everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and just tell me your standpoints on this. I'd love to hear them. I would love to hear everybody's standpoints on this.
There's a whole culmination of standpoints that you can get from everything of this.
Yeah, but I think after that, like after that filing was resolved and done with, I gave myself
We've
somewhat.
grown a lot better.
I think so, a
Ish.
little bit here and there. I got a lot of fucking growing to do, man. That's why I keep telling guys. It was like, why are you trying to progress so much? You can't just be happy where you are. I said, because I know I can get better. I know I can do things better. I know I can fucking handle situations better too. And I know no matter how much I say things and they come off and rub people the wrong way, that doesn't bother me. It's just the fact of there are better ways. And will I ever change how I handle certain wordings and things? Maybe, but there has to be a worth to it. Like there has to be a good weight to it. It says that okay, there's a reason behind doing it that way. Because I haven't found a reason to not to. Because there's people
So
that have been fine with it, and there's people that aren't. But that's not my biggest
there's a
problem this time.
reason behind to it. Yeah. So this actually plays into another estranged topic of
Word.
that I've been saving up. So let's see. I had a best friend, and his name was Aaron. I grew up with this kid. All right, from the beginning, young boy age, collecting Pokemon cards, even cutting out the backs of Lunchables, getting all those little Pokemon collectible kind of deals. And we grew up together. We ran together. Eventually, while we were fucking up, we fucked up together and, did a lot of drugs and stuff. And while I was getting in my bigger relationship and starting to try and get out of drugs, he got way harder into them and stuff. And he was a brother. He was a brother to me, like completely.
Yeah.
But you know how time goes. Sometimes you just fall apart and they all find their own different friend groups and what have you.
Yeah.
This is still youngin' days. Lead it on to later. So he got so deep into drugs that, leave it up to getting prescriptions to deal with psychosis and all this anxiety, get free Xanax prescriptions and get this and that and this and that. But he started taking them too on the other side of it. And then he fried his fucking brain. Completely fried his brain, and I hooked up with him after I dealt with my psychotic break and, got off of all the drugs and not even doing the therapy drugs anymore,
Yeah.
which didn't, it works for some people, it doesn't work for all. And I am a small case of where I would rather deal with myself in my facilities than be medicated because it gets too close to that tinge of doing drugs, if that makes sense.
It does. Like I don't know what it's like, but I can kind of figure it out
Yeah.
without doing it. Without doing it.
Well, I've done them all, so like it's very very close, and it can immediately get me right back in fucking to it. And so, anyways, kiddo, this is right after our last discussion of signing over and everything, and now I'm a new dad. You look so much better without fucking glasses. My God.
Oh, I used to wear contacts and then just said, fuck it, don't need them anymore.
About LASIK or something, because damn, you look
PRK
stupid.
probably, but
Look
you know,
stupid as fuck. Fucking grunt.
it is what it is.
Anyways, so it's right after the discussion. I'm a brand new dad, 6 month old, just
Figuring it out.
just right off the fucking train of quitting all drugs known to man and out of the worst relationship I've ever known in my fucking life into a relationship of where I got a kid from, and now I'm a father of a 6 month old. So, you know, into the broil we go.
Yep.
Like, and I get in contact with because I'm still on Facebook at the time. And I'm, seeing how all my people that I used to hang out with in high school are living and stuff. And, I messaged him one day and just been like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, yeah, nobody talks to me anymore. And he, starts telling me of his journey. And I'm like, hey, man, I'll come out and see you. He's like, really? You would come out and see me? Like, why not? Well, no one's came to see me for like 2 or 3 years now. I was like, it's all right, man. We grew up together. Like, I'll come and at least say hi. And I went out there with, I had a bottle of whiskey. Figured we'd drink and fucking hang out and look at the stars, kind of shit, and like the old days. And we're talking and stuff, and then he starts like, I feel like I'm from a different planet, and been talking to some people in my mind, and they've been telling me of how I could get there again, and I'm like, fuck, okay, all right. And this is when he had his grandparents still that were taking care of him, making sure he's taking those meds, and that was at the very beginning. Now, fast forward a couple months, 2 months, 3 months, Jace is 9 old now, and I'm still, helter skelter kind of like, hey man, we should hang out again. I found a pog tab of a Superman thing that will, if we can just get down to Florida, I can give one to you too, and we can get sent off into the planet that we need to go. And I'm
What the
like,
fuck's a pog tab?
Pogs from the 90s, where you look at a Pog,
Fuck's a
but
pog?
it was a
Talking
special.
about the
It was like little. It was almost like Jacks, but it was with like little
yeah,
fucking
not pulling up.
circular
Everything's
tabs. But anyways, from that discussion, I was like, hey man, I truly do love you, and I loved growing up with you. But like I'm a dad now, and I can't have you around right now of where you're at, and I hope nothing but the best from you, and I truly do love you. And I had to delete him then. And that's another, little comment on an estranged having to cut someone out, but I know it was needed because that's dangerous as fuck. Because
yeah,
I can't one try and fight his own delusions because at that time both of his grandparents are dead and he's completely off meds now from his own prescriptions that fucked him up in the head. So he got fucked up. They fried his brain so fucking much from taking those stupid things that he couldn't function in a natural state without something else. And even then, my friend was gone. My friend had died. Like
yeah.
that wasn't my friend
That wasn't
Aaron.
him anymore.
And that's a hard fucking thing to deal with realizing that and just trying to remember that, your childhood friend is gone and, he has no one but you. I can't be the one that's there for you at this time. I can't be your dad, I can't be your mom, I can't be your fucking grandparents. I can't even be your
How
friend.
often does that play back in your head? You wish you could be.
I can't.
Sometimes you
I
don't.
don't. I don't. I no, I leave it at that. I leave it at that. It's the same way that I got left on my, like with what you had on your relationship of the last thing the person that I loved the most ever said to me was, I will never love you again. And that was the last thing she had ever said to me. And I was like, cool. And it took a lot of time to process with me. And, tried to kill myself a couple times.
Yeah,
And that was just stupid love. It wasn't stupid love, it was full love. But she, ended up finding out she was cheating on me throughout the whole time, 4 out
yeah.
of the eight
Those.
years that we were together. And it was just, like a full, uppercut, 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 uppercut.
Yeah,
Stop spamming that fucking move. But in the same sense, I have to cut it off right at the bud. Like, just even recently, you've seen what's been kind of happening around our area
yeah,
of, even Discord. We make it a curated statement of, yeah, we will help you to the fullest extent, but
yeah.
like even in the standings, you at least say hi before you try and start some bullshit.
Yeah, that's a thing that I appreciate a lot of. Like, even though I know I piss certain people off sometimes, even though it's not my fault 100%, I say, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, no matter what. And I know for a fact, try to, like, curate it to be the best of my abilities, but, it happens. And I at least always greet because I try to, because even
Well,
in
that's
every space, I
that's a
try to.
basic necessity, and what we lost in a recent status, like Echo. Like, he came in there and immediately started talking about stuff that was genuinely said as a man-to-man talk and using it to make fun of someone over. And that's a big no-no for anyone in my standings. Like, how little of a person can you be to use that
Yeah,
as banter? Like, I can make fun of you without pulling out every fucking thing that you know and love, or
yeah,
you're something that you can't change completely.
yeah.
It's
It's,
odd.
I don't think you should ever pinpoint the things that cannot be changed for somebody, especially if they're trying their best to either be okay with themselves or fix themselves or do be better some way, shape, or form. But I do it with my friend Panda all the time. He's bad at organizing because he has all these big plans, can plan it all out. But when anybody else looks at it, you're just like, what the fuck is this? Or even like JJ, he organized a tournament thing. I was like, cool, and I had nothing to do with it at all. And somebody reached out to me, hey, what's this? It's like, ask him, no clue. And then I look at it, I look at the format for it, just simple, like what it's supposed to be like.
Hmm.
And I'm like, hey, you need to put in there time, date, points of contact, and how it's run. Because you just have, we're having a tournament for money. Bro, you need to put the details in there to make it so people can know how to plan for it. Like, because you set it for this day, then all of a sudden one person said, I can't make it then. Then you moved it. So you need to have concrete. You need to make sure it's all together, everything like that. And I pick on him about that because that's something that can be changed. Because it's something you just write out and change it, be done. I'll never pinpoint like what their biggest flaw is, like something like that, unless like it's
Well, like,
known
no, this
jokingly.
this this was like to the standing of, and I won't mention names or
Yeah,
anything,
gotcha.
impotence, and immediately opened a discussion like that going off on someone.
Yeah,
And I don't play that shit.
I get that. I don't know how to handle that. Like I was there for it, but I was like, not to do with me.
You were there at
You're the.
that was the second time.
Mm-hmm.
The second time. and with no disregard of any fallibility on his own part. And that's what really pissed me off. That's why he got kicked out. You
Yeah,
know,
but
I'm curating stations down on a better level now
well,
than it
yeah,
was before.
but it's also a learning curve because you had to learn on like what you want to have around you.
I'm tired of having, yeah, I love chaos and all that shit that you say you enjoy and stuff, but again, that's another needed thing I
Until
feel
I
in this
figure it all
time.
out.
Dude, that video that I sent you on Discord of the Theo Von thing, that is something that I would almost like to discuss with you too, because
No, no, sir, I'm
it's
good.
very, I think it's plausible to this whole discussion as well.
How long is the video?
It you can it's 14 minutes, but it's like not, you don't need all that, you know.
And if it was like shorter, like just like the key
Yeah.
points of that, then
No,
I would
no,
be
I
like, yeah,
mean
we can just pull it up now.
this is a
But
later discussion
oh
where
yeah,
we're talking.
all right, that's fine then. We're gonna do that and talk about it.
But I just wanted to remember that I put that in there. Got
Yeah,
it. No, that was my own notes. See, I always
yeah,
have my own. I have my own chaos that I sow into the system.
yeah. I get that. I know you do. Let's see here. I have something. I know I wrote something down. I don't remember which note thing I put it in though. Fuck.
I already have. I've cleaned out my notes.
Do you think how I handle like this is gonna be just reflection and questions, things like that, or what you see? Do you think that I humble myself enough with my ego
Can I
compared?
smoke real quick before I answer that, or can you turn me into a little fucking thing while I smoke and answer that?
You good? Yeah, go ahead.
So describe that better.
So everybody says I have a big ego, which you know differently because you actually sit down with me and talk to me behind the scenes a lot.
You have basically zero ego and a lot of.
Words are hard,
The house is a clamoring.
but because most people think that I think I'm better than everyone else in so many different ways when I'm like, I don't think I'm better than anyone else in anything most times. Like, but if that's what you think, I don't care. But, you know,
But you do. That's where
not
you got.
really.
No, no, no. But shut up. If you want my answer. Yeah, bitch. But So stop it with that. Of that you don't care, or I'm a bully, or all of this other little hashtags that you put on the end of it. Then it will seem more genuine and not necessarily of how they're describing you as.
Yeah, but that's just how
Yes,
I think. Like, because it's, like,
but no,
I gotta
keep
think
safe.
it. I just say it usually. That's just
That's
why.
because that's a backup keep safe. Because even if you're completely wrong in the whole standing, then you can be like, "Yeah, I was just kidding, ha ha. Ha. Hey, it's just a prank, bro." You know, like it's a idea that there's always a backup. Instead of doing that, just cut that fucking out, and that way they take it at word face. And if they can't, then that's on them. But you said what you needed to say. There wasn't any trying to back out at the end, ass end of it. You know what I mean? And as for ego, yeah, in some standings, but that's from the military aspect, I would say, because you're supposed to have pride. You're supposed to have ego. I mean, hell, being the basic necessity of a man is you have to have a set amount set aside for yourself in influx your ability to survive, and you have to have those things there, otherwise you're gonna die. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel that basically looking back, looking at myself, because I had to see everything I do over and over again, and just looking at myself, I was like, do I give off that I have such a big ego? Do I give off that, you know, it's just like analyzing myself so much because I do it a lot.
it would be
Not just
more
my ticks, 'cause I can't control them, but you know, it's just like
I
I
wouldn't
know
say
I get loud here and there.
egotistical. in any way. I would say slightly pretentious and knowing more than the person that you're talking to instead of just letting them talk. Which is why you got attacked by non-said things
The
is
thing is,
because
I'm
but
not
you're
trying to be
making you're
pretentious.
but you are though.
Because like even in that situation, it wasn't like you should do it like this. Like this is how I did it. This is the reason why, and like cause and effect of different things. Because they described something and then how it came out. And said, okay, cool. This is how I did it with mine, and it was a different result.
They
But you
don't
might
they
want to
don't want
learn
that
it.
right now. They don't want to hear your story.
Then what's the point of a conversation?
You conversate, you wait for them to stop talking, and then you interact with their story. That's what they're wanting at that time.
Then there's no point in
Instead
true
of
conversation. That's just fucking beating an echo chamber. Especially if you're
no,
not
no, no,
changing
no.
it like to help.
You can be disregarded of their opinion to their little story, but they're wanting to talk about their story, not yours. That was the difference of why you, I feel, got attacked more
Yeah,
than
it's just like I
than
said, just threw me off. Like I've had multiple opportunities to not just analyze, not just, you know, what's
but
the
it's
right
harder for
word?
you to set
Put
back.
down, put them down and saying, this is why you fucked up. Instead of saying, okay, cool. Let's not focus on the negative right now. Let's focus on how you can get better.
But that's your option to put them down too.
But I
So
choose
like
not to most of the time.
from my aspect, you saw how I interacted. I just sat back and watched and then replied to their story. I can learn a hell of a lot more through that and then have an opinion, but you have to place it correctly,
Yeah, I'm really
you
bad
know.
at that.
I know, but that's part of it that you need to work on is just setting back and not being
The
in that
fixer,
moment,
not being the fixer constantly.
you know? Like
Yeah,
that's a part of you that needs to be worked on. But
yeah,
that's fair. And even though I'm still a fixer on most occasions to the people that I feel that deserve it at the time, I still can't control me, not replying in a lot of situations to someone that is toxic to my whole mentality. But if they need help, I'll help them for a little bit, but I'm not gonna fucking make it a whole night for myself.
yeah. I don't know. For me, I think it's hard because somebody said it last night to me. They said their goal for this whole year is to be not responsible for everyone else's. I was like, go ahead. I said, give me context on that one. And it's like, why? Because that can mean a lot of different things. The way you said that, and they're like, not being responsible for others' shortcomings. It's like, okay, I get that. Not being responsible for others' emotions. It's okay. Their mistakes, yeah, and their choices.
Emotions, shortcomings.
Like, it just matters the situation on that one.
You see? You see what I yeah, like it's that simple though. Like
Yeah, but
asking the questions of the semantics that people put in front of you
yeah,
instead of reacting.
and it goes to that standpoint. I'm like, I could do a lot of that myself.
You should.
I
Yeah, I
should.
think it would be better for you, to
It
be
would be.
honest.
It would be, and it's one of those things of I think people don't realize, which I don't care if they do or not. It's like to
Yep,
some to
yep, yep,
some
yep,
extent.
yep, you did the
Let me
thing.
finish the
You did
goddamn
the nope,
sentence.
you did the thing. You
Yeah,
did the
but
thing.
to some
You
extent,
did the back out.
I do care. Okay, I'll say I care,
There you go.
but to some extent, I don't think I should.
Yeah, that's here or there. It doesn't matter whether you should or not, but you do.
Yeah, and it goes to I think everyone thinks that what is it? I had it in my fucking head and I lost that shit. God damn it. But I feel that more I just lean more into being just myself, it's going to be disruptive. I already know that. I
Well, it's
accepted that part.
tides. It's ebb and flows of tides.
Yeah.
And that just has to happen. You see who washes up ashore, you see who gets swept away, and who's at the culmination and like
Yeah.
hanging with the rest of us.
Because my buddy Lane asked me, he's very successful. He asked me, said, Do you think you're going to be dragging the same people with you to the top? I was
No,
like, wait, I was like, what do you mean? So, cause I asked, like, I need specification. It's like everyone who's there for you right now. So yes, do you think every single one of them is going to make it to the top, or are they going to actually drown out themselves? I said, I believe they're going to drown out themselves some, but I feel that I'm going to have to make really hard choices. He's like, yep. He's like, can they differentiate between business and friendship the right way? And I said,
no.
most of them
Like
no.
I would say about like 11% of your whole community could do
I
that.
I don't even give it that much. I give it 3%.
Like it's
And it's going to be those that not only have been there, but the newer ones that are going to come along that's going to come from doing this podcast that know what I want with
well,
it and will stand behind it.
to be fair, I mean you kind of learned of while you invited that new person to our area, like there's standings of which you need to set
Mm-hmm.
of like a new person, you need to have these blocks of being able to do other stuff. If you're feeling like talking to new people, you're here, and then you're here, then you're here, then you're here. But everything needs to be just like with your OCDness, set into its place of where it needs to be. The people that you
Yeah.
actually like when your working schedule, you don't need to be constantly fucking have me and Bubba coming in there and talking shit to you. But sometimes it helps
Yeah.
when you need a true working edge and nothing but productivity. You need to set it to that kind of standard of like where you need to be and what only you're accepting at that time. You need to draw these boundaries. The boundaries
Yep.
are the biggest thing. Just like what I'm doing right now over in my shit is the boundaries are something I'm doing a hell of a lot more now because I'm tired. I'm tired of the helping. I'm tired of the, constant disregard of always being the fixer, like you said, but never being listened to or it working on the other side of it. Like to to give an instance, like when I was younger, my mother and father had their problems and all that stuff, and she would never work out. She was, I'm fucking fat. Well, work out, and never did it. Never did it. Not until the day that my dad said he was done. He was done completely with everything. And then all of a sudden, like, yeah, I'll go work out. Yeah, but that's too late.
It shouldn't have come to that though if
The
you
woulda,
cared about
coulda,
the
the woulda,
fucking
coulda, shoulda standard is stupid. You had fucking so many years to do differently. Yes, he ended up cheating on you from that same fucking standard. Like I don't see either of them in the right in that ideal, but if your partner wants someone that is actively working on themselves and doing what they're saying they're gonna do, and then constantly not doing that, then there is no reason why they wouldn't go astray. But in a marriage, at the same time, I would rather leave that person than go astray and cheat on that person. I hate cheating.
yeah. I mean, I'm no saint to that. I fucked up myself.
Mm,
And it wasn't even for because of my partner at the time.
it's just
It was because
dumb.
it's not even that, it's my own personal issues with myself.
You need the satisfaction at the time.
And that's the thing about it, it didn't satisfy me.
It never does because it's
Yeah,
not satisfying.
it didn't satisfy me. It showed me, was it worth it, buds? And I was like, no, it wasn't. I just accepted it. It's like, okay, cool. I fucked up. Talk to him about it. And then like, well, we can make it work. I don't think so. Is it why is it? It's not that I'm not happy or joyful with you. It's the fact that I'm not right for this. I of course, said, cool, we'll do it your way because maybe you might be right. Maybe I just got out of my system and that, and then everything just got more stressful, more issues. I was like, yeah, we just need to end this. So
You can't come back from cheating, man. In my
there's a
opinion,
way, but it's fucking hard work, and most people don't want to do the work.
I just don't think that there's a way coming back from cheating. This is my own personal opinion. Like that's a to me is beyond betrayal. Like there's always a time where you can say to a person, "You're not enough for me," and leave them and go on a hiatus and fuck all you want, fuck everything you want, do whatever the fuck you need to do to get your shit out of your system, but you're not betraying their trust in you as their partner.
Yeah, but it also matters your partner too on that one. And I've known some that have been so forgiving and just we can make it work. I've known some that have been, fuck you instantly and I hope you fucking die. I know some that
They
are in the
single?
middle.
What?
Some that are what?
I was like, they single?
Oh my god. but
I'm just kidding. You're from Texas.
yep.
Hey, do it again.
You're
Catch
not
me
going to fall
5
for it again?
times. Shame on it. I don't know who the fuck, but god damn it, fuck you, Texas.
No man. You're just a hater.
Got you. Whatever. I got you smiling again. So fuck you.
Yeah. I just for myself, I don't think I could ever go down that route again. Because like I said, I learned a lot about myself through all my mistakes, and I try to push it forward to myself and anyone else that dares listen. But yeah, cheating itself just it's not a solution. It's a temporary fix for whatever you got going on wrong when you lack the willpower to truly communicate. And I mean, actually, not just say, "Honey, I'm not happy," or "Honey, you got fat," or "Honey, like I don't feel happy with myself." I mean, actually sitting down is like, "Hey, it's not on you on this one, but for myself, I don't feel as attracted to you anymore because you've gained so much weight. I know in this there's certain levels to this. So before anybody says anything fucking stupid in the comments, sometimes there's physical things that they can't do, but there are other things they can. But
And it
or
doesn't have to be
medical
just,
issues.
but it doesn't just have to be on their own either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I
Because I
will do
see
this
every
with you.
relationship as a unit. You know, you are a well-trained cadet unit fucking trying to survive life. Like you can do it together. And if
Yeah,
you're not supporting them other than just calling them fat, then that's on your part. But
yeah,
if you're
like
like willingly going like, hey, you want to, come to the gym, you want to go on a run with me, you want to go on this hike later today, like you can do nuanced drops of like, I will do this with you if you actually want to.
one of my exes, she's like, I feel like I'm gaining weight. I want to go to the gym and this and that. So we went down to the gym, got memberships together, and started going together, and didn't fucking have a hard conversation about it. Just like, hey, when do you want to go to the gym next? I just asked that, and she's like, oh, I want to go tonight. This or I want to go tomorrow this time. So cool. I made sure I was available to do it to make sure that she wasn't doing it by herself or anything like that. And then one day she got the confidence to start doing it by herself, and she started doing it, and she was happy. She brought that carried over to the home life too, by the way, and it was great. And
Hmm.
so it's not hard to fucking try. I think that's the real thing. It's not hard to actually try and give effort and give a shit if you actually
Remember
want to be
that.
in a
I
relationship.
hold
I
you to
know,
that.
I know, I know. I'm in
Did you see
uncharted
my eyes
waters.
light up with fire fucking works right
I
there?
know
Like,
I'm in uncharted waters right
okay.
now, motherfucker, because I'm not
Yeah,
so
yeah,
used to
you,
somebody
you
that's like,
just have to
eh.
try.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just gotta fucking try, and like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You gotta accept that. Like at the end of it, like if it's like amicable. Because I tell people a lot, like, look, I don't feel like I'm worth fucking much as shit, and I don't see why people see me in such light. But it's weird. It's weird hearing it from other people because I just don't think of it myself. And I know some people's like, know your self worth, blah blah blah. And I'm like, nah, not it, man.
Yeah, that's not for me, dog.
It's not for me. I don't get the whole praising thing. I'm not about that. I rather
Yeah, you're
somebody
such a good
fucking.
boy, Terry.
I will fucking lose my shit right now. God damn it. But
Toss
no,
me.
I'd rather and somebody say, "Do you have a demeaning kink or something like that?" It's like, no, it's not that. It's just I'd rather somebody be so blunt and
No, you're not
honest and so
acceptance.
negative
Well,
about me. That way, I have something to
you're not
focus on to get
accepting
better.
to any kind of grace.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said a couple days ago,
That's just how a lot of people are.
my mom gave me one praise. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, I went to a Waffle House and she called me. Here you go, baby. Like, oh God, I'm good for another month right now, and that's all I
Oh my
need.
god, you been talking like the older fucking southern like black
You
women. It's like,
goddamn
yeah,
right
look,
here, baby.
look, one of them older black woman calls you sweetheart or baby or
Baby.
especially a southern, you just like you got it like
But
I did it right. I did good today.
I'm straight hush puppy in your fucking
Yeah,
knapsack right now. Like, goddamn. I'll tell you what.
that's a fucking thing. I didn't realize it was a thing until I met some other people and then y'all and I'm like it's just normal to me, man. That's just southern. Like, no, it's different. It's different.
How many social relationships do you have right now that you hope will be on their end that they want to change without chatting with you about it or even interacting with you, but they have to do the interaction? How many people are you hoping out of your social interactive group send you a message to change the dynamic of what you're stuck in?
With or without hand holding.
No, with nothing from you other than that they are going to talk to you directly.
35, I'm pretty sure right now.
Yeah, that's a lot, bro.
How many do I think will actually succeed in that? Two.
I was going to say two as well. So
Mm-hmm. Two. Only reason why I say two is
I
because
know.
they show the promise of actually doing it. And they actually try to do it. And they don't even try to involve me with any of it. Except when they both get to that fucking plateau. And I'm like, I'm okay with this because they talk to me out through it. I'm like, and they're like, we've worked so hard, we're trying to figure this out. And I was like, cool, sit down, take a deep breath, yeah. Tell me
Breathing
where
that.
you're stuck. And they're like, they tell me, it's like, okay, cool. It's like, do you want my point of view on this, or do you just want to like work with it together? It's like, can you give me what you see? It's like, cool. You fucked up here. That's it. So what? You just fucked up right there. And they look at it and like, no, I didn't. It's like, no, look at it. Look at all of it together, not just like individual. Look at all of it together right there. And they're like, oh my God. It's like, yeah. And they're like, thank
Rose
you.
colored glasses, black guy over here, fucking
And they're
coming
like,
on to
thank
you.
you. And then like, and I don't hear from them besides like this constant like, hey, how are you doing today? I'm doing good, like back and forth kind of thing. Social, little small social interactions, and then we talk about like what's going on in life, and then nothing like I'm had to get fucking involved. It's fucking fantastic. I love those kind of friendships where it's like we're talking about this, that, and the third, and we're all good. And like one of them is my friend Judy.
Was
Fucking
it a culture shock finding us? Like
not really.
our group of people that
No,
don't
because
ask you for anything at all, and like
no, I
there's
have another group like that too. They are just way more isolated and like they do not accept anybody from the outside until they not only show their worth of fucking time, but show they can be
most people weed
humble.
themselves out.
Yeah, but they don't even allow that stage. Like, nope, we
That's the
will
fun
not do
part.
that. I know, but they don't have time for mince words like that or mince waste time. Basically, I'm like that makes sense.
Everyone has time to waste. You're already on Discord. Fuck off.
Yeah, yeah, but no, they're not on Discord.
Friend group,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, real life like people. Like they're like cool, and they deal with me. I keep asking like, why the fuck do you still deal with me? It's like you're worth the time. It's like what do you mean? It's like and so yeah,
Did
so
the
and
thing
so
again. Let me put that on my bingo
mm-hmm,
card.
mm-hmm. And it's like but say when you have a downside of yourself, we don't have to fucking say a goddamn word to you. And it's like
Did you
wait.
ever do the rubber band treatment?
No. That doesn't work with me that much. I'm a masochist. Didn't work.
Yeah, I know it didn't work for me either. I didn't know if it worked for you.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
one of the things I'm like,
I was wondering what we could do for your self-deprecation at the end of a sentence.
I don't know. I stopped saying
Just have
across the
to.
board so much because somebody kept fucking.
I'm a fucking
as it
bully.
fucking
I don't
happened.
care what you say. And like, I'm just an asshole and all this shit. Like,
Oh god, yeah.
like it's always at the end of a sentence, and you try and
Would it help
down.
if I put it at the beginning of the sentence?
It doesn't matter because
Fuck.
you're trying to talk shit before the thing you say, thinking that they're going to have a positive or negative reaction.
Yeah, I'll
Saving
figure it out.
yourself. You're being a pussy.
Yeah, I'll figure it out one day. I'll figure it out one.
One day.
Yeah, not tomorrow, but one day. But yeah, I don't know. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I have plenty more things I can always talk about, buddy.
Because we've been going for I think like 3 hours some change. So I'm making sure.
Yeah, no, we can trade it off now. It can always
Okay.
be next time.
There can be a next time. Hell yes. You heard that, everybody. Crow say that could be a next time. All right, Crow. Thank you very much for this conversation. It lasted longer than I thought it was going to, but I'm okay with that. Everybody got to meet Apollo on the podcast finally. So
yeah, his big ass sleeping over there in the bed.
And he's over
Lord,
here passed out.
he's fucking done.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Thank you so much for this episode. We're going to be doing, because this will start now. The podcast is going to be doing the podcast-thon thing. It's the 4th annual one. It focuses on nonprofit businesses and things like that and charities. So I'm still narrowing down which one I want to pick for that. And that episode will come out, I believe, in March, between March 12th and March 20th. So yeah, it's a big step because I haven't thought about doing something like this before.
What does that all entail?
So it started 4 years ago. It's each podcast gets to either choose a charity they want to talk on or interview members of that nonprofit charity. It's to show light on them, to highlight them and what they're doing. I'm aiming toward more veteran based or mental health or suicide awareness or things like that I have real personal experience with. So it actually means something.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Yeah, I reached out to a couple people, a couple places actually, and I've gotten word back from all of them, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, just D&D roll that dice, dude. You know,
it's me.
You said
you
loved chaos, Terry.
I do, but with something like this that I care
that
about,
dice, put it on and just give a roll. Like you can do it again next year.
Yeah, something I think I'm gonna, especially if the return, like it's not about the return, but if there is a good return on it, no matter what, there's no reason not to. Because I'm already talking about it, and if it encourages a good relationship with said charitable nonprofit organization, we can keep things going on that way too. But I don't know if I want to keep the same one or just rotate it out, because I don't care about just one fucking thing.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
Not with your fucking dumbass eclectic attitude.
Hold the fuck on.
Hold the fuck on.
It's not that bad.
Don't white girl fucking palm me over here.
I will white girl palm you all I fucking want to.
Jazz her hands. About to play some jazz from it.
Goddamn, I'm so glad you didn't record me the other day when I was talking to Teresa. The things behind closed doors are how I act. People would just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when you're actually comfortable, you're comfortable. But it was nice doing this with you, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
See you next week for the next episode.